Mike, morning.
We're all very sorry to hear this, really sorry, Nicky, but how difficult a decision was it for you to make?
Well, I think, funny enough, having sort of made it, you know even more that it was right. In that I feel a sort of, I think I've taken a brick off our shoulders a little bit. It's not that one's, I think first of all and foremost, this is nothing to do with his heart. His heart is working perfectly normally. It's probably ours that hasn't been the last few weeks. And he has his heart monitor on when he's working. He had it on Saturday. That goes straight to Newmarket, where CDMA downloads it or whatever and takes the reading off it. And that was perfectly right. He has not gone into, his heart hasn't done anything wrong at all since that day at Kempton, where it took 24 hours to what we call self-right. It's mainly just to do with, we've been building up. I've been pretty hopeful, and I think we've always said 50-50. And I was saying to some of the boys that we were talking to last night that actually a fortnight ago I really thought we were possibly even 60-40, although I left it at 50-50.
Yeah.
I was quite confident we were going the right way, but knowing that he had a lot of work to do, and with that would come the extra fitness, and therefore, the real sprinter would come back to us as he got fitter. Now, Saturday's work was really the sort of acid test in that I needed to take him to a race course this weekend with a lot of the others.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to Kempton on Friday, some of them are going to Newbury on Sunday morning after they've finished racing Friday, Saturday. And he had to go to one of those to get him ready. And therefore, yesterday's work, which is following quite a lot of work that he's done already, and as I say, some of that I was getting pretty optimistic about. But yeah, Saturday was sort of, I really needed to see, and like I said, I've got to say, on Tuesday, I thought we were pretty nearly going to, I was waiting for something. I needed to see the old Sprinter.
Yes. Nicky, has there been any stage this year where you have seen the old Sprinter at home? It hasn't always been doom and gloom with him this year, has it?
No, I mean, Kempton was a horrendous shock. But we obviously now know why. But I'm not... Trio-Delene is a very good workhorse. He always works extremely well. So much so that I actually was always running him over. I was worried in the Hennessy that he wouldn't get a trip because he works very well.
Yeah.
But Sprinter at his best, there is nothing that can go with him at all. Not surprisingly.
Yeah.
He is the best horse by a very, very long way. Except, actually, sadly, Simon Sigg used to be his sort of companion because he has that he has that speed. Sadly, Simon's out for a different reason. It's been one of those years. But, we know, and Nico de Boinville, who rides him every day, Corky and Charlie Morlock and myself, you're watching him the whole way through. And we just know that there's, I don't know whether it's 10%, but it's something around about that mark. He's missing. Now, actually, Sprinter 10% short would probably still be good enough to win. But it isn't himself.
Yes.
And if he's not himself, I can't ask him to go to a racecourse next weekend.
Any clues, Nicky, at all? You're putting your finger on it in some respects by saying it's not the problem with his heart, which seems to be resolving itself now, fortunately. Any clues at all as to what might be?
No.
No.
Absolutely none.
Yeah.
We have, his blood is good, his tracheal wash when we scope them is good. Everything suggests that we cannot find anything. And I think, we've had a long weekend talking to Caroline and Raymond Mould, who've been absolutely fantastic and fully understanding. And I think there is a sense of relief in a funny way that we've had. I wanted to make a decision. I think we had to make a decision now. And I think Saturday, we could have gone on another week. But I think under the circumstances, it was only right to say now. I mean, it's getting close, and as I say, I had to take him to a racecourse next weekend which I wouldn't have been comfortable with.
Okay. So
and if he didn't do that, it's obvious that we're struggling. So it was better we'd thought long and hard about it all weekend and felt that it was better to say now rather than try and push him any further or keep the rest of, to keep everybody, not knowing where we are.
Yeah, well, Nicky, you've got no peers on that front, that's for sure. What happens to him now, and where does he go?
Well, absolutely nowhere. I mean, he's going to go out second lot.
Yeah.
And go and have an exercise. He has to. You can't just suddenly say, sorry, old boy, that's it. You can stay in your box for the day. No, Nico's going to ride him out in a quarter of an hour's time. And go and have an exercise. I think we'll keep asking questions without galloping him. I'm not going to gallop him again. And at some stage, I would have no doubt that he will go to Celia Mar in Newmarket with all the, they've access to everybody there. Yes, you start with his heart, but you'll start with and everything else that goes with it. And I think, in simple terms, it's just a full MOT.
Yeah, fair enough. Nicky, are you happy overall with the rest of the festival team? You've got, 80-plus entries to mull over the next few days. Good luck with that.
Well, that's the next job, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to go to Kempton on Friday morning. Barney Clifford's kind of going to prepare a strip for us there, which normally we go to Newbury on the Sunday morning. But one's aware that Newbury is going to be very soft over the weekend, Friday and Saturday, and that the ground on Sunday morning might just be testing enough if they've raced on it for 2 days. I think we've got a lot of rain coming back in tonight. We're fighting floods and doing all sorts of things down here. So I'm going to take a pretty big bunch to Kempton on Friday, and then there will be 2 or 3 that will wait for Newbury on Sunday.
Okay.
And just sorting out who goes where. I haven't exactly, got that down to the
I can't be easy.
Yet,
well, good luck with that, Nicky. Bobsworth and my tent or yours, though, they're in good shape?
They're all working away. Well, Tent isn't because he had his race the other day.
Yeah.
Bob will appear at one of those 2 venues over the weekend. He doesn't need to do a whole heap. But he will be probably might be leading towards Newbury. I think Newbury would, if there is a strip of ground at Newbury, might be better for him than the all-weather. Doesn't strike me as an all-weather horse, particularly.
Right. Okay.
But we'll see.
Well, Nicky, we do appreciate it, as always, and very best of luck in getting the team organised for 2 weeks' time and improve on that record-breaking tally of 50 winners you've got.
Thanks very much, mate.